Hello everyone, welcome to yoga class. Today we're continuing our mini series of the doshas, and this is the second class in our dosha balancing series. This dosha today is all about Vata. So the Vata dosha, like I said, is one of the three constitutions, life force, you can think of it. Vata contains the properties of ether and air, and Vata is responsible for our energy and movement as well as our nerve impulses. So breath, speech, circulation, and digestion are all the manifestation of Vata. So this flow that we're going to move through today is to balance all that out. So let's get started. In a comfortable seated position, I'm sitting with my shins and the top of my feet as my foundation. You're welcome to find a different seat. If you want to try the way that I'm sitting, you can also position a block to sit on. And by sitting on a block or two, that's going to lift the hips higher up than the knees. So that'll feel more comfortable if you have knee issues. So we'll take a seated Kapalabhati breath. This is our breath of fire. This is to help us stoke some energy. So first we'll just take a deep inhale through the nose all the way to the top of the breath. And then as you exhale, let it go. Now bring your hand to your belly. With your hand at your belly, you'll feel a pumping action. The sound that we're gonna make is a continuous exhalation. So it sounds like this. We're going to try that 20 times in a row. If this is the first time for you and 20 seems like a little too much, then you can stop whenever you need to. So let's try our first round together. Take an inhale, just 3/4 of your lung capacity. And now just focus on your exhalations. Inhale to the top of the breath. Exhale, open your mouth, let it go. Just take a moment. That was one round. We're going to try for 2 more rounds. Remember, if it was a struggle to get to 20 exhalations, no problem. You can stop at 14 or 7 or whatever works for you. If you focus on just making the forceful exhalations, the inhale is going to happen naturally. Let's try again. Inhale to 3/4 lung capacity and go. Inhale to the top of the breath. Exhale, let it go. Take a moment with yourself. Notice the experience that you had on the second round. 1 more round to go. So let's inhale to 3/4 lung capacity. Place your hand on your belly and focus on your exhales. Deep inhale through the nose all the way to the top of the breath. And exhale, open your mouth, let it go. Now let go of all of that control of the breath. Simply come back to your natural breath, the way that you breathe without force or control. Maybe you close your eyes, bringing your gaze inward, becoming internal as you just sit with this breath that is your own natural breath. In this time, you can choose an intention for your practice if you'd like. If you're working with an intention, just choosing whatever resonates with you today for your practice. And once you notice what that energy is that you want to bring in for yourself today, honor it, see it, visualize it. And then let the gaze open up, let the eyes flutter open. Notice the space around you. By now you should be on your mat. If you have blocks, you can bring them near your mat to invite them into your practice with you in case you need them. So starting to come into our movement for our Vata Dosha balancing practice today, you can stay on your shins or you can come into a different seated pose. Just find what works. So this is a seated spinal twist. On an inhale breath, we'll lift the arms up, fingertips towards the sky. And on the exhale breath, we'll twist to one side, bringing your hand to opposite thigh. Inhale, lift the crown of your head up, and then exhale, twist, look past your back shoulder. Stay in the twist and simply notice your breath. You might even feel a shoulder stretch. And then inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, let's twist opposite direction. Set it up. Twist a little deeper. And hold here with the breath. On your next inhale, bring your arms to center. Let's take one more on each side. Spinal twisting is so important. When we twist, we're able to detoxify. And then arms come up on the inhale. Exhale. One more time, opposite side. Inhale, arms find center. And then exhale, take the hands down. From here, we'll extend the legs in front. Bring your legs together, bring your feet together. We're coming into a seated forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold forward. Inhale, lift the crown of your head up. And then exhale, fold a little deeper. Now keep those legs connected to the mat. Feel a nice stretch at the hamstrings. And as you exhale and fold deeper, you'll also feel a nice stretch in the entire back space. Continue to fold with each exhale. Allow yourself to surrender to the pose. If you're really flexible in your hamstrings, you might even take a block to your feet so that you can bring your hands to the block and then fold. Count for 3 more rounds of breath. On your last round of breath, find your fullest expression in your seated forward fold. As you inhale, lift your head up. If you're working with the block, just release it. Exhale, walk your hands towards your body. Bring your feet out to one side. We're coming onto the shins. And then we're lifting up. So we're in a kneeling position. Position your knees below the hips. Coming into a little baby camel pose. You can curl your back toes if you'd like, or you can press the tops of the feet down. So in our baby camel, rather than reaching back for our heels, we're gonna take our hands to our glutes, as if we're putting our hands in our jeans pockets. Then we bring the elbows towards each other, press the hips forward, maybe take a little back bend, gazing up to the ceiling. Opening the front of the hips, getting extension in the spine. And then slowly and carefully finding your way to center. From here, take your hands down to the mat, curl your toes, come into your downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide, set up your alignment. Send weight into the low body to take the pressure out of the shoulders. Position your ears between your biceps. And if you'd like, you can bend one knee at a time. Getting a deeper stretch in the legs. And then slowly walk the feet to the top of the mat. Take your time to get there. There's no rush. Let yourself enjoy your practice. Once you get to the top of the mat, position your feet under your hips. On an inhale breath, we'll bring our hands to our shins and we'll take a half lift. And then as we exhale, we'll let the arms dangle. It's forward fold. See if you can straighten the legs, but if the hamstrings are tight, take a micro bend in the knees. Back to flexion in the spine. Allowing the spine to decompress as we stretch the back. Maybe here you bend one knee at a time. So as one knee bends, opposite leg straightens. Soften the knees, take the micro bend, roll up to standing position, let the head come up last. And once you find your standing position, inhale shoulders up to the ears, exhale shoulders back and down. Set the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward, back to your forward fold. Inhale, take your half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back to your plank position. From your plank position, knees, chest, and chin lower down. Come onto your belly. And as you inhale, lift your chest, send the shoulders back. Exhale, it's downward facing dog. Let's take 3 rounds of breath in down dog. Inhale through your nostrils. Exhale, open your mouth, let it go. Practice your lion's breath. Each time you exhale is an opportunity to release. One more round. Now step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gathering energy. Exhale, bring the arms down the midline. Open the arms by your sides, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. On your next inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, dive forward. It's forward fold. Inhale is our half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back. And this time as you lower down, you can lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. And as you inhale, you can come into cobra or up dog. Exhale is our down dog. 3 rounds of breath here or in child's pose. This is up to you. Find your lion's breath. Find your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands down the midline. Open your arms by your sides. And now let's switch up our foundation. Let's bring our big toes together and just make a little space at the heels. Now, as we inhale, we're gonna sit back and reach the arms forward. So we're coming into our chair pose. Squeeze the thighs together. Exhale, it's forward fold. Inhale is a half lift. And as you exhale, step or jump to your plank position. Move through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. This time we're going to continue to move. Inhale, lift and lengthen that right leg. Exhale, bend the knee, step it through. Now find your balance, lift your arms, come into your crescent lunge. And as you exhale, take your hands down. Now step the right foot back, move through your flow. Make your way to down dog. Inhale, lift and lengthen the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Find your balance. Inhale, it's crescent lunge. Exhale, hands meet the mat. Step the left foot back. Move through your flow. Now this time when we come into down dog, it's 3 breaths here, or you always have the option to come into child's pose. If you're in child's pose, come back to down dog. And from downward facing dog, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale for chair pose. Exhale, standing position. Now bring your thumbs to your heart center. Close your eyes, bring your gaze inward. Notice your breath now. Give yourself time to lengthen the breath. Give yourself time to reconnect. To remind yourself of the intention that you chose for yourself for your practice. Just check in, make sure that you're honoring it. Continue to lengthen the breath. Now on the next exhale, open your arms by your sides. We'll take one more round, just like we did before. So as you inhale, find your chair pose, Utkatasana. And as you exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale is our half lift. Exhale, we plant the hands, step or jump. Move through our vinyasa. We find down dog. Lift and lengthen the right leg. Step it through. Inhale, reaches the arms up. Now to add on, as we exhale, we can take cactus arms. Little back bend, gaze up. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, take the hands down. Now this time when we move through our flow, if we want to challenge ourselves, we can leave that right leg up as we lower down. Find up dog or cobra. Come into down dog. Inhale, lift and lengthen that left leg. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, arms rise up. It's crescent lunge. Exhale, cactus arms, little back bend. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Exhale, take the hands down. Now, if we want to try it on the other side, left leg hovers, move through your flow. Three rounds of breath in down dog or child's pose. From child's pose, come into down dog. From down dog, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, standing. Thumbs to heart center. Gaze inward. Notice your breath. Give yourself time here for a reflective pause. Let the eyes flutter open. As you exhale, release the arms down. Soften the knees. Now, at this point in our practice, if you have blocks, you can incorporate them. Grab onto the blocks to start. And bring the blocks outside of the feet. Now, we're coming into our pyramid pose. So let's set the feet up to hip distance. If you're not sure what that is, look between your feet. Make sure there's enough space for one more foot of yours to fit there. So feet are in hip distance. We'll step our right foot halfway back, maybe about 3 feet. Now you can rotate those right toes to the right edge of the mat. Think about your foot being at 45 degrees, not 90. Straighten both legs. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, fold your torso towards your front leg. Now, some of you might be able to remove the blocks and bring your palms directly down to the mat. Now, as you fold and you bring your forehead towards your front leg, think about sending your front hip back. So for me, that would be left hip back, right hip forward. And breathe. On your next inhale, softly bend the left knee, step the right foot forward. Feet are in line with each other. Inhale, it's half lift. Exhale, fold. Feel the hamstrings. Maybe they feel a little more open now. Inhale, it's half lift. Decide if you want to work with the blocks or not. If so, place them under your hands. And then exhale, step the left foot halfway back. Make sure the feet are in separate lanes. Rotate the left toes to the left edge of the mat. Position your fingertips or your wrists underneath the shoulders. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, fold forward. Bring your forehead towards your front leg. Both legs are straight. With the right leg forward, send the right hip back, left hip forward. Close your eyes and notice where you feel the sensation. On your next inhale, soften the right knee, step the left foot in line with the right, and exhale, it's forward fold. Now, if you want to go deeper in your forward fold, you can take your hands to your ankles and pull your upper body towards your lower body. That's really going to deepen the stretch at the hamstrings and the back. If it's too much, then you can back out of it. You decide how far you want to go. And release. Bend your knees. Maybe you even feel your belly on your thighs. And take 3 full rounds of breath to slowly rise up to a standing position. Let your head come up last. Let your arms land beside your body. Let's take a couple more shoulder rolls. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, take the shoulders back and down. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back and down. Now take your hands to your hips. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Rotate your right foot to 90 degrees. So we're coming into our warrior 2 position. The front knee is going to be tracking above the ankle. The back leg is straight, pressing to the outside of the foot. Now the arms are gonna reach out in opposite directions. This is our warrior two. The gaze is gonna be at the front middle finger. Keep a bend in the front knee. Keep pressing to the outside of the back foot. Warrior two. If you notice that you're feeling tension in your shoulders, flip the palms facing up and then just flip the palms back down. There we go. Just moving the shoulders away from the ears. Now, press into your front foot to straighten your front leg. Reach your front fingers forward. That's going to send the back hip back. And now we're going to rotate our arms for our triangle pose. If you like to work with a block, you can position the block at your front ankle. Your arm is going to meet the block as it lowers down. Your opposite fingers are reaching up. Now, think about swiveling your chest open towards the ceiling. Breathe into your triangle pose. If it bothers your neck to look up to the ceiling, you can rotate your head to look down to the mat. We'll transition now from our triangle pose to our half moon. I'm going to demonstrate with the block. So as you inhale, lift up, take the block with you. Bend your front knee again. Now from here, the block is going to come down in front of the foot. Back leg is going to lift up. Position the block. Lift the back leg, lift the top arm, and flex the back foot. This is our half moon pose. Breathe into it. And to land safely, soften the front knee, bend it, let the foot come back. It's back to warrior two. Let's try that on the other side. Pass the block to your other hand. Then press into your front foot. Turn your toes the same direction as your back foot. So all 10 toes are facing the same direction. Now the back foot is going to turn towards the back of the mat. Bend your knee so that it's above the ankle. Press to the outside of your opposite foot. Okay, so you can face the opposite direction, or you can face however you need to if you need to see the camera. Basically, just opposite leg, going through this little mini standing series of 3 postures, starting with our warrior two. So for now, we'll put the block down beside the ankle of the bent knee. And with strength in our legs, we fly the arms. We look to the middle finger of the arm above our bent knee. Remember, you can always flip the palms up and then rotate the palms down. Warrior two. From warrior two, we transition to triangle pose. We've already got the block set up. Now we press into our foot, straighten the leg. Both legs are now straight. Reach your fingers forward and simply rotate your arms. So one hand lands at the block or the mat. The opposite hand is reaching up. Now try not to collapse. If your chest is facing down, open your chest, rotate your heart up towards the ceiling. Notice how that intensifies the stretch at your inner thigh. Remember, if you're looking up and that hurts your neck, you can rotate your head to look down to the mat. So you decide what's comfortable for your body. From here, on an inhale breath, we're gonna reach the arms up, take the block with us, bend that front knee again. We're coming into our half moon. Now use your energy to shift your weight forward. Position the block down in front of the foot. And then reach your top arm up. Flex your foot that's lifted. Come into your half moon. To come out carefully, we'll do just like we did on the other side. Bend that front knee and then slowly lower the back foot down. Nice. Open the arms, rotate all 10 toes facing same direction. We can lose the block now, so just put the block down wherever it's out of your way, and we'll heel toe the feet together. So from standing, we're going to transition now down to the mat. We're going to come into shoulder stand. So to get there, we need to come into a reclined position. And as you come into this reclined position, you might just want to take a minute to give yourself a breath, because we're going from standing to now grounding down. So give yourself this time of feeling your tailbone, your entire back, your shoulders, and your head connected down to the mat. Bring your arms by your sides or take your hands to your belly and simply reconnect with your breath, your pranayama, your life force energy. Just a couple more rounds of breath, getting settled here, knowing that we're coming into our cool down phase of our Vata Dosha balancing practice today. We're going to set up for shoulder stand. So start your shoulder stand with arms by your sides. Lift your legs up. Now as you inhale, press your feet up. Take your hands to your glutes. Position your feet up towards the ceiling. Position the tops of your arms on the mat. Forearms are lifted. Now from here we can point our toes up and then flex our toes as if our feet are in high heels. You can even come into Shavasana Plow Pose, bringing your legs overhead. Maybe the toes tap down. Maybe you still need the support of your hands. Maybe not. Maybe the arms come down. To come out carefully, reposition your hands at your low back. And with the feet lifted up, you can bend your knees and slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Open your feet the width of the mat. Bring your knees in towards each other. Take your hands to your belly. Inhale, feel the belly pressing to your hands. Exhale, feel the belly soften. Continue to connect to your breath. Give yourself permission to soften and to just breathe. Now from here, we'll transition to fish pose. To come into fish pose, first, heel toe the feet together. Extend the legs so the feet come onto the mat. Bring the legs together. Now arms are by your sides. Go ahead and lift one glute, slide your hand under, and then lift opposite glute, slide your hand under. Keep the feet together. Now lift your chest. Slide your elbows under your body. So you're supporting yourself on your forearms. Come onto the crown of your head. Open heart. Back is completely lifted off the mat. If this feels uncomfortable or difficult to maintain supporting yourself in this shape, know that you can also achieve this by positioning a block underneath your back. So if you're comfortable here, please stay like this. If this is really uncomfortable for your head, your neck, or your arms, then what you can do is take one block. The spine of the block is going to go underneath your spine from the mid to upper back. So hold on to the block as you position yourself. Make sure the block is not on your low back or your neck. Okay, we want to protect the cervical spine. The knees can stay bent with the soles of the feet to the mat. That's going to feel really supported. And then when you bring your head back, if you have neck issues, I suggest bringing a second block underneath the head to support. And you've got 3 different levels of where you want to position that block. Now, for deeper chest opening and shoulder opening, arms can open up out to the sides. Think about positioning your wrist in line with your shoulders. If that's too much, arms can come down by your sides. I personally like to open the arms out because I can feel the corners of the block right there at the shoulder blades, and that's an area where I hold a lot of stress and tension, so I really like to press those toxins out. Now, once your upper body and your head feel really safe and supported, you can play around with the positioning of your legs. Legs can stay with knees bent, or you can splay the knees open, allowing the soles of the feet to meet each other for hip opening. You can also lengthen the legs, extending the legs, letting them be straight onto the mat. So we've got options for everybody. Maybe you even try all the options and decide which one feels best in your body. This is your practice, so take the time to notice what your body wants and needs. If you give yourself time and listen, your body will let you know. Now, when you're ready to come out, if you're using the blocks, remove them. Be very careful, support yourself as you remove the block, and slowly lower your back onto the mat. Take a moment to find your breath here. And then lift the legs. As you lift the legs, bring the knees in towards the body, but open the knees as wide as you can. Then send the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling so that it looks like your feet are walking on the ceiling. Take your hands to reach for the outsides of your feet. Now, this is tricky because a lot of us want to go for this, but if the tailbone disconnects, then that's going to be really unsafe for your low back. So a different option is to take your hands to your ankles. If that still lifts your low back, your tailbone, then you're going to want to take your hands underneath the knees. Okay, so 3 options. Take the one that's serving you the best. Now, as you're pulling the legs down, press the feet up. Cause a little bit of resistance. This is Happy Baby, Ananda Balasana. In your Happy Baby, you can decide if you want to rock from side to side. This is a really nice option because it feels like a massage for your back. Now, some of you might want to extend one leg, practicing straightening it, getting a deeper stretch for the calf muscle and the hamstring. You might even feel activation in your quad. And then try that on the other side. It's okay if your leg doesn't go all the way straight. Just give yourself this time of exploration and opening. Some of you might even straighten both legs at the same time. A different option here is to take your peace fingers to hook onto your big toes. Now, if you're taking the option of peace fingers to big toes, think about bringing the big toes in. That's going to give you a nice stretch on the outer part of your foot and your leg. And as you exhale, release your lifted, but open the arms out to the sides. Now, with the legs lifted, position your knees above your hips and position your ankles in line with your knees. Take an inhale breath, and as you exhale, lower your knees down to the left. Right shoulder stays down. Inhale, knees come up. And as you exhale, knees go to the right. Now the left shoulder stays down. Back to spinal twisting. Each time we inhale, lift the knees up. And each time you exhale, take the knees opposite direction. Just like we started. We started our movement in a spinal twist, and we're ending our class in a spinal twist before we come into our relaxation pose of Shavasana. So just finishing off by taking one more on each side and noticing how that feels on your spine. We bring the knees to center. And then as we exhale, we let the feet come down to the mat. Now from here, we're going to come into our Shavasana posture, our relaxation pose. This is the time of our practice where we just let go. So some of you might set up in that star shape with space at the feet and space at the armpits. Those of you that have low back issues might want to flatten out that natural lift at the low back. So option to bend the knees, option to take blocks or a bolster underneath your knees. Now if you don't have a bolster, that's no problem at all. You can always position a pillow. This is just going to help you get a little more comfy in your Shavasana pose. So let yourself lower down. Give yourself that most comfortable option. Some of you might even want a blanket. We know that when we're in this pose, the temperature drops because we're in stillness. So if that's a thing for you, you might want to grab a layer or a blanket for that nurturing warmth. Give yourself time to settle in. And as you settle in your reclined position, with your back connected to the mat, the eyes closed, tuck your chin towards your chest so that you can lengthen the back of the neck. Now that you have your eyes closed, notice your breath. Deepen the inhale breath. And as you exhale, release completely. With the eyes closed and the gaze inward, continue to lengthen and deepen each breath. This is the moment we've been waiting for. We've got total permission to relax, to let our entire body rest heavy onto the mat, to let go with each exhalation, to simply be here now in the moment, to receive the benefit of integration. Simply breathe, relax, and be. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Just breathe. Exhale, soften. Breathe and surrender. Know that it's so important to give yourself this time of stillness. Practicing being present with yourself. And offering yourself this gift, your own practice. Take a few more rounds of breath in your peaceful pose. When you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Feel the movement coming back into the physical body. Expand this movement by taking circles with your wrist and ankles if you'd like. And then in the opposite direction. Maybe it feels good to you to lift your arms up, reaching your arms overhead, pointing your toes in the opposite direction, and then softening on the exhale. Maybe you hug your knees into your chest, wrapping your arms around your shins and rocking from side to side. Eventually rolling over onto one side. And as you roll over onto one side, take your time to adjust yourself into a comfortable seat. Keep the gaze inward, keep the eyes closed. Bring your palms together, position your thumbs at your heart center. Inhale, feel the chest expand, heart is open. Exhale, soften, let go. Bow your forehead down to your fingertips as an expression of gratitude for the energy and time that you've presented to yourself for your practice today. The light in me honors and recognizes the light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste. See you next time. Peace.